Oh boy. So when I went to do the assignment for today, and then I looked at the assignment page that I wrote down for you guys, your page number says 508, but obviously the notes that I did were on page 502, so you should have caught that, but nobody pointed it out to me. Thanks a lot. Way to go. So we are looking at page 502 still, but on your paper I wrote 508. Gosh, idiot. 1 through 8, bottom. Okay? And the only equation that I'm using, so this is the sum of a geometric sequence, geosequence, is the only equation I'm using is first term over 1 minus r. Okay? Whoa. 1 minus r. It's a pirate equation. Okay, so it's a geometric sequence. Here we go, y'all. These are the answers for this. Okay, so this is the last of our book work, and then the rest of this week, I'm going to show you guys how to do some derivatives, and I'm going to give you a couple problems at the end of each video that I want you guys to kind of collect and turn in on Friday. Okay, so here we go. Don't freak out. I know I said derivatives. Oh no, that's calculus. Don't worry. Trust me. Trust me. Okay. Number one, it turned out looking like this. It went 1, 1/2, 1/4. That means that r was a half. So it's going to be the first term was 1. This is always a 1. And then we're subtracting r. Well, this time you were multiplying by a half. Okay? So that would be 1 over 1/2, which is 2. There we go. Number 2, change colors. The first term is 1, and then this is always a 1. And this time, if you look at the pattern, you are multiplying by negative 1/3. Okay? So then that's going to be 1 over 1 plus 1/3 is 4/3, because it's 3/3 plus 1/3. And then that is 3/4. Okay, you can pause the video if you need to. Number 3. The first term's 24. This is always 1. And then look what you're multiplying by. You're multiplying by negative a half on that pattern there. So that would be 24 over 2 halves plus 1 half is 3 halves. So you're going to divide by what? 2. No, divide by 3 and multiply by 2. So that'd be 8 times 2, which is 16. Number 4. The first term is a fourth. Then that's always a 1. And then look, you are multiplying by a fourth. Interesting. So that would be 1/4 over 3/4, which is 1/3. Fractions scare me. Number 5. Okay, this guy goes like this. 5 to the first plus 5 to the negative 1 plus 5 to the negative 3. And you're like, what? You are multiplying by r. So r is going to be 5 to the negative 2. Because if you're multiplying, you're adding powers. Okay? So got that? So then this would be first term 5 over 1 minus 5 to the negative 2. And you're like, how do I do that? It's 5 over 1 minus 1/25. Oh, so that would be 5 over 24/25. And of course, everybody knows that that answer is 125 over 24. That's what I calculated. That was number 5. You can pause the video if you have to. Number 6. Number 6 looks like this. square root of 27, square root of 9, square root of 3. And obviously that is the square root of 3 cubed, the square root of 3 squared, and the square root of 3 to the first. Oh, dot, 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 dot. Okay. So then you're like, what? That still doesn't make sense to me. Okay, that means it's really 3 to the 3 halves plus 3 to the 2 halves plus 3 to the 1 half plus dot, dot, dot. Oh, okay, now I see it. R has to be 3 to the negative half because remember you would add powers again. So it's like I'm subtracting a half each time. Okay, I can do this. And this time decimals are okay. So decimals, okay. So let's do it. So this would be, so the sum would be the square root of 27. I'll go back to that. And then 1 minus, and then it's going to be 3 to the negative half. Okay? So the square root of 27 is like 5.2. I rounded. And then 1 minus the square root, or 3 to the negative half is about 0.58. I'm sure I rounded there. And so if you subtract those, you get about 12.4. 12.4. There we go. Well, that was fun. If we didn't allow decimals there, that would have been a little more fun algebra skills, but it's okay. You can pause the video if you have to. Number 7. Okay, this time they said that t sub n is 8 times 5 to the negative n. Okay, so that means the first term is going to be 8 times 5 to the negative 1, which is 8 over 5. Okay, all I need is the second term. So that would be 5 to the negative 2, which would be 8 over 25. Oh, all right, I see it. R is 1/5. Okay, I got that. So now it would be first term, 8/5, 1 minus R, 1/5. So then it would be 8/5 over 4/5, which is 8/4, which is 2. That was number 7. Got ahead of myself there. And you can pause the video if you need to. And number 8. Number 8 says, hey, this is the pattern. Figure it out. Okay. So it'd be negative 2 to the 1 minus 1, which is 0. And then the second term would be negative 2 to the 1 minus 2, which would be negative 1. So that would be negative a half. And then I was like, I don't know if I see the pattern yet. So then I did the third power also. So it'd be negative 2 to the 1 minus 3, which is negative 2, which would be 1/4. Oh, I see the pattern. R equals negative a half. I'm multiplying by negative a half each time. So then to do this problem, I would do first term, 1 minus R. So that'd be 1 over 2 halves plus 1 half is 3 halves. And then 1 divided by 3 halves is 2/3. All right. There you are. I know there's a tear in your eye because although derivatives I think are in this book, I'm just going to be showing you the basics of derivatives the rest of this week. Okay, and just making up my own problems. So, tear in my eye, that was our last assignment, and I'm so disappointed in myself. I wrote page 508 because I was really wanting to do summation, but it's okay. We didn't get to it. It's all right. It was really page 502. That's okay. 1 through 8 and 1 through 8. We managed. All right. So now here's the dealio. We're getting close. Actually, we're getting close to a couple things. My son gets married this weekend. How about that? That's going to be a fun wedding of like 20 people. Um, no, it's going to be fine. We're going to do some type of reception in the fall. So they're gonna just gonna get married. All right. So here's the deal. There's just going to be minimal work the rest of this week, and then we're not going to have anything next week. Okay? So starting on May 18th, I think we're going to start turning in books on that week. Okay? And so it's going to be, I don't know how they're going to do it yet, but I think each class is going to have a different day. And then your last day for any late work is going to be May 22nd, which is not this Friday coming up, but it's next Friday, okay? Which is plenty of time. So definitely look into Skyward and see if you have any grades missing. Double check to see if you emailed me those things that you think are missing, and then send me an email with all of your makeup work, and that'll be cool, okay? And then you will earn the grade of passing, which is awesome. Congratulations, you passed. All right, so I've talked too long. I say to you, good day.